Holy shnikes. Whoa, Slim Tim. What's going on? Boy, that was an interesting situation. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can. I only have OBS up, so I'm not using any type of Restream or StreamYard. So it's strictly through OBS. So I'm just doing some tank maintenance today. I had to sign into my account too, so let me know if you can hear and see me all right. Oh boy, an echo, huh? Still somewhat of an echo. It might be from the camera. Does it sound like it's really bad? Is the echo, because I tested it and it didn't seem like it was bad. How about now? Is that better? Good video though, that's good. I did something on the cam link, so testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. This is a trial run on OBS as well, so hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. How about now? Do we still get an echo? Do we still have an echo here? Hopefully you can see me. It looks like you said the video's good, but do I still have an echo? Can you hear me okay? Echo, echo location, echo location. Hi Jim's Fish. All right, cool. Fix the sound and you can hear clearly. Yeah, I haven't used OBS in a long time. So I'm using this wireless mic too, so hopefully Hopefully all goes well here. But I'll have to keep up with chat as much as I can. But yeah, it looks like I fixed the sound. Now I'm quiet. Sound very low. Any better? Testing 1, 2. OBS struggles, and once we get everything set, we'll be fine and we'll get started. But this is kind of like a good test run for you guys. But just doing some tank maintenance. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. Sound still very low. Can you hear me okay? I turned it up a little bit. Go back to the middle. There you go. All right, sweet. All right, so I turned up that. I'm gonna keep talking for a little bit, see how you guys are doing. I'm doing, so if I'm far away, it's supposed to go through this Rode Wireless. So do I sound far away to you guys? Because it should be going through this mic and not through the camera or the laptop. Okay. Is there less static? Let me see here. I'll bring up my YouTube as well. Yeah, that's the plan. The lapel mic is clear. Okay, I don't sound far away. Sweet. Hopefully it continues to stay that way. Yeah, because I'm using this. I usually use this one for like all my videos and stuff too. But hopefully this works out. This was kind of a random live stream too as well, so I wanted to try to test out OBS again because I haven't used it in a long time, and a buddy of mine and we were messing around with it last night upstairs in my computer room. So I got some new equipment and some new stuff going on, so we'll see how it goes. I don't sound far away. Okay, wonderful. Anyway, tank maintenance, water changes on the 60-gallon breeders and the 75-gallon, because I haven't done those since I believe it was February. Let me double check those. The tank maintenance is, last time I did this on my app here, yeah, February 13th. Either these tanks, and there's a couple over here I'm going to do as well. Okay. Hey, Wallies. Thanks for coming in. This is a water change day, so I have my laptop behind the camera here, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'll try to keep up with chat as much as I can. But like I said, a couple four water changes, and then 2 over here. The tank down here, which I'll show you here in a second, is going to be, right now they're all peacocks right now. It's dragon blood and OBs, but this is my future 220 setup as like my primary setup. But yeah, that's kind of how it's set up at the moment. And then eventually when I get my 10s all figured out and sold and getting rid of, we can start moving the 220 in, but it's probably still going to be a little bit. So anyways, regardless, thanks for coming in and hanging out. I'm going to bring up YouTube as well before we get started, just so I can kind of listen to myself and see how I sound. But I get started just so I can kind of listen to myself and see how I sound. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Like I said, this is kind of like a random stream. I don't think I'm streaming to Facebook. I think it's just strictly through OBS and YouTube. So we'll see who pops in and out. I'll be around for a while. I got this Seche Ultra Zero water pump. I I was kind of disappointed in it because, you know, it actually costed a lot more than I wanted to pay for. And I was expecting a lot more power out of it. I think it's like supposed to be 300 GPH, I believe, which is crazy because I got this pump here from VivoSun, and this little tiny pump right here, this little pump here, does more power than that Seche Ultra Zero pump. I like it. I'd have to go look on the specs. I still have the box over there, but this one I got from Amazon. I don't know if you guys can make that out or anything, but yeah, I just got this from Amazon. It goes 800 gallons per hour, so it's quicker, but right now, I'll have to adjust the camera again. We're a little fuzzy. There we go. Back to normal. But yeah, anyways, I use this a lot on like the smaller tanks because it's a smaller pump. And it's very useful for the bigger tanks when I have the room for it, but it's nice to have the convenience of being able to go straight from my tanks into my bathroom where the shower stall is. So, but gonna go slow and easy pace today. So let's get started. I'm not sure how many people are in here. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. And I'll keep up with the chat as much as I can, but here we go. Should be pretty easy. Got a switch over here, on-off switch. Water just goes in the shower stall. Another thing I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing filter maintenance on the FX2 that's in my 55-gallon Mbuna tank. I have switched filters in that tank quite a bit. I used to have 2 top fin hang in the back filters, and now there's one on that one and one on this one. And I was moving them over from my Mbuna tank because that's what these filters, these top fin filters, they are running like a champ. And I have these, I don't like the filter cartridges personally, but I'm just going through them until they run out, and then I'll just put my own media in. But they've been running great, and eventually I won't be running hang in the backs unless I get more filter media because I have these giant sponge filters in these 2 tanks here. So hopefully that will be enough to filter everything with all the fish that are in here. But it's never a bad idea to over-filtrate. You can kind of do like an overkill, you know, but it's never a bad thing. But yeah. And then I just fill everything back up with the Python whenever it gets to it. But whenever I do my filter maintenance on my FX2, I will probably save some of this water from the tank, which I could probably do now, actually. But I know that there's, I'm not gonna go through the whole debate of whether or not you can do water changes with or without tap water, or with or without tank water, whether you use tap water or not. It's just convenient, and while it's here next to me and I'm doing water changes, I have no problem with just saving some tank water, putting it in this 55-gallon brute tank, and then I just bring all the media in, rinse it off real quick, lubricate all the seals, and then put it back in place. So I will not bring the camera over to that area because the camera only reaches so far, and I'd probably lose you guys. Looks like 5 are watching now. the camera over to that area because, but yeah, that's kind of the ordeal. I know that this is a different time for me, and it's very random, of course. But yeah, I don't have a problem with using tank water if it's convenient. It's really not that a big a deal to me. I've rinsed my media in tap water, and I haven't rinsed my media in tap water, and both of them have worked fine for me. I've never had a fish death. It also depends on how long your tank has been around. And a lot of my tanks, I would say a majority of my tanks right now, they have very deep substrate in them. So there's a lot of that beneficial bacteria that sits in that substrate, and I try not to disturb it. With the smaller tanks, it's a little bit harder just because of the tanks being so small. Whenever I put water back in the tank, you almost have to turn the water down pretty low as far as pressure-wise before putting it back into the tank. Hey, Jorge. Yeah, random's the best. I was thinking, you know what? I have time. I got to work tonight. I got to start night shifts tonight. My wife and daughter, they're out. They're doing their mother-daughter, dance thing for my daughter. So I knew I had to do these tank maintenance because it's been since February 13th since I've done water changes on these. I was pretty behind on these ones. So I'm going to do these 4 and these 2 and do maintenance on my FX2. But yeah, Jorge, your live streams, I've been kind of in and out of those. They've been pretty neat. Get to know all these different channels and stuff. I really like the plug series you're doing. It's been interesting to find out all these different channels and different things that you're finding out and looking into. And I think that's one thing that kind of makes your channel stand out from everybody else is you want to know and get to know the people that are just starting out and trying to help them out and get going and stuff. Because essentially that's kind of what helped me a little bit, when we first did a live stream together. So I think it's a really good thing that you got going on, and I don't know, it's been fun. Aquatic News Network, Tommy, just doing some water changes today. Not much going on for me today other than my night shift. Seems like my audio is working okay. I had to figure that out when I first started. And I had Slim Tim, right? I think he helped me out. Slim Tim helped me out a little bit with that, as well as Jim's Fish. So I appreciate the help on that. Yep. Yeah, me too, Jorge. This is through OBS Studio. I haven't used OBS Studio for a long time, since I very first started my YouTube channel, and this is it's a little bit weird to get used to because there's a big learning curve for it, but it's free. The only thing I cannot do or haven't figured out how to do yet is I can't bring up, like, how StreamYard and Restream, you can kind of bring up the chat box. I can't do that with OBS. And I haven't figured that out yet because, like I said, this is the first time I've done this today. And my buddy and I, we messed around with it a little bit last night. I was telling the Slim Tim and everybody else that I'm sure there's a way to, I don't think you can bring up, it's not as convenient as, let's say, StreamYard and Restream and all those other streaming platforms. It's not as convenient because those are set up for that way. They're made to bring up those chat boxes, but I think the only thing I can do through OBS is if I wanted to, there's a way that you can bring up like a window per se, and you can bring it on your screen and it'll just kind of show what everyone's talking about. In my opinion, it's okay, but like I can already see that anyways. And if the chat's already open for all you guys, I didn't see much of a point to bring the chat box up. So I'm probably not going to do that. Right now I'm just, this pump, it doesn't run as fast as my Amazon pump that I got. That was actually cheaper. I think Seche just charges too much for their pump. I'm just trying to move the top layer of sand around a little bit so I can get some of the fish detritus and debris closer to the pump. So that way it sucks in some of the fish waste and detritus and stuff. But I really don't like disturbing the substrate too much. That's why I just kind of finely brush over it. So that way the top layer just kind of sifts around and I can get some of that fish waste out of the way. Hellfish, thanks for coming in. Oh yeah, I bet no one has seen these before. Yeah, I've loved all the movies. Well, most of them. They've all been pretty good. I heard the latest Saw movie got canceled though. There were some disagreements between the film industry and stuff. There was a lot of complications, I guess. They were originally, I guess they started making the most recent Saw movie, Saw 11, and I believe they canceled it because of like some disagreements and stuff. But I have to go, even though I'm not a mod here. Remember to smash that like button. Thanks, Slim Tim. I got to turn the water on in the other room, so Jorge, can you put a stop sign in for me real quick, or anyone that's in there? Because it's in the other room, so I gotta be right back and turn the water on to put the tank, or to put the water back in the tank. I'm still around. I like this lapel here. It really helps moving around and stuff. It's nice to have like Bluetooth and have the freedom to walk around. I wonder if you guys can hear me over there. I'm checking my water temperature with a digital thermometer. Hopefully I didn't cut out for you guys. Seems like you guys can still hear me. Yeah, almost done. Just getting the water temp. All right, about 76 degrees coming out of my tap. It'll probably go up a little bit more, but I'm back. Thank you, Jorge, I appreciate it, and Slim Tim. Could you guys hear that? That water running over there? I was in the other room. Yeah, I just used one of these. These little digital thermometers. You just run it around the tap water and be good to go. Let me put some water conditioner in here. I haven't fed anybody today. I'd rather do tank maintenance first and then feed them a little bit later. But usually on tank maintenance day, I try not to feed a whole lot, if any. No empty water bottles. Slim, have you ever, well, of course you've probably seen this, but Dumb and Dumber, it reminds me of that. It's like, I can't stop, it stings. Give me another bottle. When he's peeing in the beer bottle, the empty beer bottles, while they're driving in the sheepdog. Oh, the auction went okay. the one in Youngstown that I went to around where I live. I haven't gotten my check in the mail yet from the results, but the way that I was talking to everybody, because I know a couple people that I've been in contact with through the Youngstown auction, that they said a lot of my fish that I sold didn't go for as much as what they wanted to or what they anticipated. And I believe some of that has to do with, it's more of like a community auction, and it's a huge auction. I mean, when the auction started at 11 a.m. and I left at 2, and they had 4 tables of things to auction off of, and when I left a little after 2, they were just getting done with the very first table. And they were going kind of slow, so I guess they were trying to speed things up, but holy smokes. I wasn't going to stay that long. But I think it was more of like a community auction, and I just have African cichlids, and they're still only like, I don't know, a couple inches big right now. So the market for me wasn't that great, because I think a lot of people didn't really know a lot of the fish that I brought to the auction. So I brought like OBs, and every bag that I had was a 1 male per 4 female, between OBs, golden Mbunas. What else did I have? I did not bring any yellow labs or ACI yellowtail because they're still kind of small right now, and the ACI yellowtail I might end up saving myself. But I'm kind of glad I didn't bag anything more, just because of the fact that it was, like I said, more of a community auction, and I don't feel like I did as well. Whereas when I went to the OCA in Cleveland, the Ohio Cichlid Association, when I did their auction in November, I was selling bags for like the same type of stuff too, for like anywhere from 15 to 20 bucks a bag. So Slim, you remember that scene from Dumb and Dumber. Hi Jody, thanks for coming in, doing some tank maintenance. Marked the tire. But yeah, that was kind of my experience with the auction. It was still good. You know, there was a lot of people. I got to see some familiar faces. I got to meet some new people, which was cool. And I felt a little bit more at ease at this auction, which was nice, because it was my second one, and the first one it was kind of like I didn't know what I was doing, sort of thing. And it worked out in the end to begin with. But in all honesty, I don't think I made, well, I mean, we'll see what the paper comes out with, but I had, like, the last auction I went to, there was not a single bag that sold under $10. Whereas I had one bag at this auction sell for 20 bucks, and then the next bag that I had of fish sold for like 3. And it was like the same fish, so I'm not really sure like if people were just coming and going, or like what the deal was. But that was kind of a little bizarre. I guess I could clean the glass too while I'm at it. This tank has some lemon jakes in it, but they might be like a lemon jake / OB mix. But they seem to be, the colors just now starting to show up on some of these guys, so I'm hoping that the lemon jakes, you know, it's hard to see their color until they get a lot older, whereas like Mbunas, they show their color a lot sooner. That's the only bad thing about peacock and haps, is they don't really show a lot of their color until they get to like juvenile or older, I should say. Probably just gonna do a 50% water change on each tank. It's been since February, so it's been a while for these guys. I was busy between work and vacation, and then going, let's see, yeah, vacation, work, and then just keeping up with the hobby itself. That's why I got behind on these. These were the last, this whole section of my fish room was the last ones I had to do, and I didn't get to them when I did my last water changes with my smaller tanks. This tank I have to keep an eye on, because if I fill this one up close to all the way, there's a leak that's at the very top which I never bothered to fix because since it was at the top and it kind of leaks around the seams here just at the very top, as long as I don't fill it up all the way, I don't bother with fixing it. See what the water temperature is. It's 81. And the tank water temperature is 78. I'm not too concerned with the 3 temperature difference. I think 3 is kind of like my personal limit. And African cichlids, they're pretty good with not real drastic temperature changes, but like a 3-4 degree temperature difference, you usually can handle things pretty well. I could probably slim it down just a little bit to try to get closer to 78, but I think it'll be fine. Mickey's, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. East Tennessee Aquatic Association having a swap and auction May 3rd. Thinking about going. Well, good luck to you if you go. I have a few saltwater items I don't ever think I'll use. I can take up there and see what I get off of them. Yeah, they have dry stuff there too. I didn't have enough time because by the time that I bagged all my fish up, there really wasn't a whole lot that I could, you know, gather up. Because when I go to these auctions, there's not a whole lot of time that I have because I'm the only one bagging and P-tagging my fish. Because you have to label them, you know, and everything, you know, when you go to these auctions. And my wife, she's and going to an auction, it just wouldn't be fun for my wife and 2.5-year-old daughter, if you get my drift. I mean, there's just not a lot to do, you know, and I didn't stay the whole time either, so that's why I just kind of found it, you know, they didn't go with me the last auction either because there's really just not a whole lot for them to do, whereas when I went to the OCA, I went to that auction and they didn't go with me, but when they had the event, the 3-day event, they came with me because there's stuff to do. You can go to the Ohio Fish Rescue. There's a lot of vendors there. There's speakers there you can listen to and talk to, but mainly it's just nice to, and it's only an hour from my house, and you can see a lot of different kinds of fish. You can walk within the hotel room, and it's, I don't know. I like the OCA thing a little bit better, just because it's geared more towards what I have. And I feel like and the OCA auction, it was separate from the event, because I think their event was in like, I want to say October. I could be wrong on that, and I think their auction was like a month later, give or take. In either or, I mean, they were both really good. But I just feel like if I go to the Youngstown auction, or if I go to another, if I happen to go to another just community fish auction, I'm probably not going to bring my fish there, just for my experience of going to the Youngstown community auction. Let's see. Mickey's doing some water changes too. Yep. Jeffro says, Joe, what's your 5-year goal for your fish room? What do you want to produce more? What would you like to step away from for a while? He also says, good morning. Also have African fry to get rid of too. Yep. So Jeffro, the answer to your question, that was a multi-step question. But I like it though. I like the engagement. I greatly appreciate it. A 5-year goal, and I don't know how much you know yet, but I'm actually in the process of getting rid of a lot of my small tanks. My whole plan is to get rid of all my 10 gallons, keep 2 20-gallon longs out of the 6 that I have for quarantine and medication purposes for new and treating fish. And then I'll more than likely get rid of my 29 gallons. I have 3 of them. and I'll probably keep 2 of my 40-gallon breeders. So within the next few years, I see my 5-year goal, and I've probably been at this on YouTube. It says differently, I believe, on my YouTube channel when I actually started, because I created it, you know, some years ago. But as far as being like actively on YouTube through my pricetagaquariums channel, it's probably only been a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. But for a 5-year, my whole goal is, you know, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter now. And the future, there's changes in the future for my life personally. So I have to make things easier for myself. I have stopped the breeding process, and I just want only my bigger tanks, my in-wall setup, and my bigger tanks upstairs. And my goal is to have just bigger tanks only, and to do, I'm just not going to have enough time to do the maintenance on the smaller tanks and keep up with them and keep doing the breeding process, because I was running out of room. These guys were breeding like crazy. All my Mbunas and peacocks and everything, they were just breeding like crazy, and I just ran out of room. So if I make a little money in the process, that's great. But that's kind of my initial goal, is for the 5-year, as a long story short, is to make things simpler for me. I don't want to make this hobby stressful, and it has not become stressful, but when I ran out of room, there was no way I was going to buy more tanks and create more work for me. So because of what's happening in the future and what my plans are to get this 220 in here, I want to maintain about 10 tanks or so, give or take. So if I keep 2 upstairs, I have 3 upstairs, but I might get rid of 1. I'll have 2 3-4 in-wall setups, 3-4, 5 if you count the 220, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I keep everything except for the small tanks, even if I get rid of the 40-gallon breeders, it's probably going to be roughly, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, let me count this again, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 14 or so tanks, as opposed to like the 30 something that I have. What do you want to produce more? I'm not going to produce anymore, Jeffro. Like I was saying, I stopped the breeding process. So I'm stepping away from the breeding process. So that's kind of what I quit doing. Basically because the simple fact that I don't have time for it. Because there's something, like I said, in the future that's going to happen, that if I don't move forward in the direction that I want to move forward in, that I won't have time to take care of my fish in the fish room. I will only have enough time that it allows me for. And I'm glad I stopped the breeding process, and I'm slowly getting rid of fish more and more with these auctions. I talked to my local fish store. They won't take a whole lot for them, unfortunately, until they start growing up bigger. But they did say if I was ever in a pinch that they were able to take some of the fish, like they could empty some of their small, because it's a big place. It's called Aquatic Aquarium Gallery. That they said if anything I could bring them all in a tub or something like that, and they would find places for them, even if they were female. I probably wouldn't get anything for them, being them a female, because females are hard to sell unless you put them in with a breeding group, because that's what I did with all my bags at the auction, is I had the 1 male for a female, and that was the only way I could make any money off the females. So that's kind of my direction, Jeffro. I hope that answers all your questions. All right, Jody, thanks for coming in. Meeps Music says, I don't think I'd like to be a fish, I can't swim. Yeah, breeding's fun, Slim Tim. It was fun for me. I like doing it. I just don't have time for it anymore. And I need to do what's best for me. Now, I'm always gonna be in the fish community. I'm always gonna be doing YouTube. I have still a very strong interest in keep doing that, and I'm still going to be, I don't think this hobby will ever leave me at all. The only way that this hobby would leave me is, God forbid, if something were to happen to me. Because I know for a fact that my wife would not be able to take care of this and take care of the house and the daughter and all that. So I'm gonna save some tank water since it's convenient. Because I am gonna do, like I said, my FX2 filter. Do some maintenance on that. All at 62 years old now, you think I would have learned by now. Hey, Swiffle. What am I going to do with all my smaller tanks, Jeffro? Meeps, that's funny. I've known some people in my lifetime that never learned how to swim. That's not uncommon from my experience. Hold on a second. Sometimes I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Let's see here. 2 tanks down, 2 to go. Let's see here. What are I going to do with all my smaller tanks? Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, Jeffro. I have no heaters in my tanks. This is a temperature-controlled fish room run by a furnace. If you're a member to the channel, I give an in-depth view of how everything is set up down here. It's pretty neat. I did it with my phone, I believe. But anyways, long story short, I don't have any heaters, but I saved all my heaters. So whenever I'm ready and moving in that direction to get rid of all my small tanks, everything that you see that's in the tank itself, like the sand, the sponge filter, the decorations in each tank, you know, the hoods and everything. There's a couple tanks that the lights don't work anymore, but I'm basically going to sell the entire tank, you know, the glass top, you know, the lighting, the decorations, the sponge filter, the substrate, the heater. You know, I'll be selling them with the heaters, you know, so. Wait a minute, what did I just say, selling them? I said selling them, did I say celebrate? I'm going to be selling them 30 bucks probably for everything, and then the ones that the lights don't work anymore, I'll probably take like 5 bucks off or something. Holy shnikes, Slim Tim, are you serious? I have a friend of mine that he had a near-death experience, and I've had 2. I've had 2 near-death experiences in my life. I'm not going to get into grand detail, but yeah, that's scary stuff, man. I didn't have I guess I could say I never had a situation like you said where you had a presumed dead, so that wasn't as bad as that, but Meeps Music says there's a great episode of an old-time radio series from the 1950s called Surface Tension that features an end-of-the-world scenario. To preserve the human species, they repopulated them inside a fish tank. Holy smoke. Yeah, I'd never heard of the Surface Tension. Old-time radio series. Huh. That must have been interesting. I like hearing about stuff like that. What, 4? This will be, I gotta do these 2, so hopefully I can pan the camera around to do these guys. Very interesting. At the auction I went to, I was kind of disappointed because I bagged up 2 extra bags, and I don't think they went for much, because the ones I bagged extra, I remember because I number them all, because that's kind of what you're supposed to do at an auction anyways, and whenever that number got called up, it got called up early because I just set the bags up, you know, I split them up within the color codes, the color stickers. And that was one of the ones that went for $3. So I'm just kind of like, well, I'm glad I bagged those guys up. And I got rid of about 70 fish. Let's see, 5, 10, yeah, 20. So I got rid of 70 fish that day at the auction because I had 12 bags to the auction and I had an extra 2 bags that went to someone I got to know through the auction at the OCA. Because he bought some fish off me recently, and he said he was really trying to talk hype about my fish, and he's actually complimented me on my fish and said that I had really, really nice fish. He said some of the best he's seen. And all the fish he's bought for me has survived and has made it through the travel process and everything, and that was really nice of him to say. I guess, well, try not to walk and chew gum at the same time here. What else you guys got going on? First of 3 near deaths. Meep loves old time radio. They had some fantastic writers. Yeah, I was born in 1986, so I would not be able to tell you about any type of old time radios or anything. But it's always interesting to talk to people that can talk about, you know, the 50s and 60s and growing up and how different it was. Times have changed, right? Now everything is on your phone, everything's social media. You can look anything up. You don't have to have big encyclopedia books and go to the library and pick out those cards to find your book and go to the right book aisle. I mean, newspapers are the only way you could find the news. Now everything's at your fingertips. The glass in these tanks stay relatively clean, surprisingly. I think it really helps, like, a lot of my tanks, or I shouldn't say a lot of my tanks, but the fish that are in my tanks are bigger, obviously, and they get dirtier quicker. I'm probably going to end up adding another filter to my peacock and hab tank upstairs. But it's kind of nice to have tanks downstairs in the basement because they don't get that direct sunlight, so I feel like that plays a good part of that. I didn't think this one through. Hold on a second. Don't fall in the fish. But I think it's kind of a nice thing to have no direct sunlight in basement tanks, because even if you have like a big window, even if it's far away from your tanks, you still get some direct sunlight and green algae, because I get that on my Frontosa tank. Okay, I hope my battery lasts long. Looks like I got half a battery left on my lapel. Jeffro, I don't have RO. The reason why I put water in a tote, the reason why I put water in this tote is because that's water I'm taking out of the tank. And I'm just putting my dechlorinator straight into the tank. I've been doing that for a while now and it's never steered me wrong. But the reason I'm putting in that tank is I'm going to be doing maintenance on an FX2 filter for my Mbuna tank. And I figure if I have tank water and it's convenient, I'll just put it in there and use that whenever I rinse everything off. I've used tap water to rinse off my media before and it's been fine. This tank has been, my Mbuna tank has been running for a while, but the FX2 filter alone itself has only been running since June. And I just kind of look at it this way. I'm not into the whole debate of whether you should use tap water or not to rinse off your filter media. I'm just kind of looking at it as if the water's convenient and I'm doing water changes, then why not? I can just take the media, bring it over here and just rinse it out real quick and put everything back together. Not a big deal. Meep says, well, technically I can't talk about the 50s. I'm old, yes, but not that old. Fair enough. No mods here. Yeah, this is a random stream, Slim. Dewey Decibel System saved me so much time at the library. Yep, I remember that, Jeffro. Yeah, internet was a big thing. Whenever they first started getting introduced, it was huge. But yeah, Jeffro, that's why I was taking some tank waters just whenever I rinse out my FX2. I just want to have some water to rinse it out in. And like I said, the filter hasn't been serviced since I put that filter in there, and it's been June. I do not have a pre-sponge on that filter. So 1050, doing pretty good. I've been doing about a 40% water change on these. Oh, I was going to switch the tanks over. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I can pan over here more. So those are 55 gallons there. So those are the ones I'm doing water changes on now. Still about 81 degrees coming out of the tap. I'm okay with that. The water's 78, I think. Yeah, 78.6. So maybe 2.5 degree temperature, which I'm okay with. Yep, Slim, I've done both too. I've used both tank water and tap water. Cell phone batteries, when your phone's on charge while cam is activated, every 30 minutes, unplug the charger, wait 10 seconds and reconnect. There's a good reason for doing that for a full explanation. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Slim. Have a good lunch. Cell phone batteries, when phones are on charge while cam is activated, every 30 minutes, unplug the charger. Isn't that like the solve of all problems, is unplug it and plug it back in? That's the old IT fixaroo right there, is unplug it and plug it back in. Crap, I don't remember if I put water conditioner in this tank. I think I did, but I'll put a little bit of dose in here. I have well water. I really don't remember if I put water conditioner in this tank, so let's just put a little bit in. And a little extra doesn't hurt anything either. I don't think I did. I don't remember. Maybe you guys remember. Oh, you're still here. Okay, you're just getting lunch and at the gas station. Cool. For you guys that haven't heard, my bottom 55 over here is my future 220 tank. I've kind of reminisced about. I'll see if I can get the camera to get me a good angle of these guys. I haven't shown this tank off a whole lot. But I'll see here in a second when I do my water change. If I can get a good camera angle for you guys to see my peacock or my peacocks. It's supposed to be a peacock and half tank because I do have sulfur head lithobates in here that I'm going to put along with them, but I just don't know who's male or female in this tank yet, and I won't know until they get a little bit older. Yeah, I've used I've kind of tested the waters, no pun intended, Slim, with the using no dechlorinator when I use well water, but I guess I have a lot of copper tubing, and some of the house, whenever this house got updated, I still have some of that copper tubing for like the water lines and stuff, but I think that's, you know, with well water, you never know depending on the season. Depending on the season, I have all 4 seasons here. I just don't like running the risk of, you know, I've done water changes without putting the chlorinator in with the well water, and I've had no problems, but maybe I just got lucky, or I guess I just don't trust how the seasons work, and, you know, with the changing the seasons and just because of some of the piping being copper tubing, I just rather use dechlorinator just to be on the safe side. And I've had no problems, and it's for the cost. I really don't mind paying for it either. It's not that big of a cost for me. All right, so I am putting dechlorinator in this tank. I forgot if I did on that top tank or not. A lot of times when I'm doing water changes, I do this like entire section. Hold on guys, just a second. Why is that not running? Looks like that's not running as... Oh, it's still going, okay. Anyways, I forget what I was talking about actually. I got distracted. I got distracted by all your guys' good looks in the chat. I forget what I was talking about. Oh, tap water with well water. I think that's what I was talking about. It's just something I don't bother adding dechlorinator every time. What do we got here? What are you guys chatting about? Meep says the phones are designed to kill batteries. Either get a new battery fitted, most folks don't, or buy a new phone. Solution supplied above. Yeah, most of it's just buy a new phone. Yeah, good old iOS. I have had Android life. And chlorine halts iodine production to filter or not. It's tricky. I'm not sure on that, Meeps. Well water is live water. What do you mean by that, Jeffro? Butane, just, you know, basically in a nutshell, meaning like just from the ground, per se. Let me know what you mean by that. Oh, you're talking about chlorine and well water, Meeps. Okay. Oh, Slim, you said your new fry rack, no issues with the bottom tanks when siphoning. That's fantastic. That was a big thing for me. I wanted to make sure to give myself plenty of room. So that way, if I didn't have a pump or if I didn't want to use the pump to siphon water and I just go the old-fashioned way, I can. So, yeah. That's great, Slim Tim. 11 o'clock. I think I came down here and started about, I don't know if the timer's on here or not. Let's see if I go on YouTube here. Let me double check the sound and everything while I'm at it. So, yeah, seems clear. Let's see how long I've been doing this for. That's great, Slim Tim. 60 minutes ago? Wow, an hour in and I'm already on my 6th tank. That's good progression. Yeah. Slim, there's a lot to say about 8 inches, I'm just saying. 8 inches makes a big difference to 4 inches. I'm just saying. Come on, guys. Let's calm down a little bit. Never again, I'm sorry. Meep says, well water, it depends what's in between the well and its source. Toxic industry en route, yeah. And that's what she said. Yeah, I think that was kind of like, I've never looked into it extensively, Meeps, on where my direct source of where my well water is, other than where it's located in my house. I'm not that savvy when it comes to that sort of stuff. I guess I've just always used a chlorinator, and the cost of it never really bothered me a whole lot. So I was like, eh. Maybe I just got lucky when I did the water changes without using the chlorinator and everything was fine. It'd be cool if that would be like a permanent solution. I didn't have to buy it, but then again, like I said, I've had no problem buying the chlorinator. I'm probably going to, once I'm done with my liquid dechlorinator, I'm probably going to move to aquarium safe. Because I think it's a powder form, but it's a lot cheaper than the stuff that I have. And I want to try to go that route. Okay, let's see here. That's what she said. Jeffro says, which racks do you prefer? I noticed you're using different ones. I've used quite a lot of different racks. Jeffro, Facebook Marketplace was a perfect thing for me because the racks over here, they're the industrial racks I got from Home Depot, and it was like one of those like Black Friday sales and stuff, and there was like, they got like 40% off or something like that. I don't remember, but it was crazy. And then these racks here, I don't even know the brand. I got them from a company, like some woodshop company, like a small local woodshop company, and they were just using them for storage racks. And they were upgrading their storage racks because their company was getting bigger. So they needed bigger racks and more heavy-duty racks. Duty. The racks that I prefer, honestly, Jeffro, is the ones that I made. And I have videos on that if you want to check those out. Slim Tim actually Slim Tim made a rack with a little bit of inspiration from my videos. and which is freaking awesome. I'm really glad that I could be of assistance with that, and it means a lot to me. I mean, you just can't go wrong with 2x4s, Dado Cut. I mean, that's the racks I prefer. You specifically make a tank setup in your wooden 2x4s, 2x6s, or whatever have you, set specifically for your tanks. Those are the tanks that are the racks that I prefer the most. The ones that I made, the Dado Cut, you're gonna have stability throughout the entire uniform rack. You know, you're not just relying on the screws, you're not just relying on the different notches on your industrial racks, which they are rated for a heavy weight. You know, that's why I got these, but the reason why I have so many different ones is because one I got from Marketplace, one I got for a good deal in Home Depot. And it was convenient because these are nice because you can put them together really quick. Like I put this together probably within an hour, taking it home. These are put together in like 30 minutes. You set them up. I like the wooden Dado Cut racks, man. You can't go wrong with it. Meep is a he. Oh, okay. Would I mess something up, Meep? If I did, I'm sorry. If I did mess something up, I do apologize. Oh, you're close to a treatment facility. I'm kind of like right next, even though I have well water, I'm pretty close to my city. But I don't think I'm not close to like a treatment facility, so sometimes there's straight pool water coming out of your tap. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon just came in. He's a mod. Swiffle says he buys safe from powder form of prime, fourth of the cost, and turn powder into prime safe, $12. Yeah, I think that's what like a lot of people like using that safe, because it's a lot cheaper. Yep, 3-part series, part 3 coming soon. I thought I might have watched part 2. I've been a little behind on YouTube because I've been pretty busy. Yes, the Dado Cut rack. Let me see where I'm at here. Jeff, I'll show you my 10-gallon setup here if you're going to hang around for a little bit. Let me monitor my tank situation, and then I can kind of move the camera around. And you can always watch my videos too if you want. They're some of the most watched videos on my channel, actually. Can never have enough towels in the fish room, right? Yeah, let me wait until I fill this last tank up, because I'm kind of almost there. I'm going to take off my pre-sponge filters off of these 255 as well and run them through this tank water. But yeah, once I get situated, Jeff, or if you're going to hang around for a bit, I'll show you my tanks. Meeps, I apologize. So I must have screwed that up. Not the first time, probably won't be the last. Dado Cut fry rack are awesome and simple to build. Yep, agreed. I didn't realize how simple they were to build either. It just takes time. And whenever I was building this fish room, you know, we didn't have a daughter at the time. It was just her and I, and I had plenty of time to make these racks. When I get rid of my 10-gallon tanks, I'll probably put it out there that instead of putting them for 30 bucks a piece, I'll probably put like a deal that like, hey, I'll give you all 9 of my 10 gallons along with the 10-gallon rack for, I don't know, X amount of dollars. If someone wants to go that route. Same with the 20 gallon. I have 6 on the 20 gallon long. A lot of people like doing fish racks, and I think Jorge's, a lot of his fish racks, their tanks are like butt up against each other, and they're faced, you know, front to back, as opposed to mine being horizontally. And that was just a personal preference that I liked. I liked seeing the horizontal look and being able to see the whole entire long version of the tank. Now, as far as space-wise, it's a lot more feasible to have the tanks, you know, front to back, you know, short side, you know, in the front. All depends on what your preference is and what you're looking for. But if you want more tanks and more fish, then the short version of putting all your tanks together is the way to go. All right, almost done here. I thought about doing a video, but then I thought, well, might as well just go live instead. Save myself the editing. I do have a Hygger filter that I've had for like a month, and I haven't even opened the box yet. But I am going to do a product review on that. I'm not real big on product reviews. I know I've said on my live streams that I really don't want to do those too much anymore. But this was one that has intrigued me a little bit. So I like doing my own things. So we'll see how this product review goes. But I'll be right back, guys. I gotta shut this water off. All right, coming back in. Are you still here, Jeffro? Jorge, you know how to pack tanks. You know how to do pack in your tanks. Meep says, "Don't make me a mod. I'm unstable." Slim's been here enough. I could make him a mod if you want to, Slim. All right. Let me see if I can pan over here. But these are my Dado Cut racks with my 10 gallon. This is what I was talking about. The Dado Cut, it's so useful because you can kind of see like each spot. All your long parts are resting on the vertical spots, and you have to notch these out. And I don't have a specific saw or tool to do that, so all I did was just take a straight saw and just went kind of like down, and then I chiseled the middle off to fit it like perfectly. And you just have to remember when you saw it to like go inside the line and just kind of work your way out, because you want these to fit really straight and really nice and snug. Because if you have a little bit, if they're loose a little bit in here, then you're going to have a little bit of wobbliness in your stand, and you don't want that. So the whole reason of doing a Dado Cut is to put notches in each spot, so that way your tanks are resting on the vertical part of your stand, as opposed to these, your industrials. You're relying basically on just, they do have vertical stands, you know, up and down here, but you don't have like any mid parts, and it works, and I don't have any problem with it, but I just rely more on like a weight per se of each tank is going to handle a lot more, and you're going to have like a peace of mind by making your own Dado Cut. And same thing with the Dado Cut for my 20 here. It's done the same way. I have videos for both. My more detailed one, I believe, is the 20 gallon that Slim Tim went off of. but I just didn't want to make two of the same videos, and I said, hey, if you want to know about how I did it, here's the measurements for this one, here's the measurements for that one, and go from there. But that's literally my stand of choice. If you have the time, it's a lot cheaper to do than buying industrial racks. If you can get like great ones like I did, like for those, I got off a marketplace. I think I paid like 50 bucks or something. Oh, look, the zoom does work. So yeah, I mean, like I said, like this Dado Cut's like, I don't know, it's super easy to do. And that's the same industrial rack I got from the marketplace. I got two of them, and they work. But see how like they have like those little cylinder, I don't know if you guys can be able to see that, but like right there, they're just being held on by like a little metal little notch. You see my square there? It's just from my camera, but in the center of that square there, they're just hold on by that. And I didn't know, I know that when I looked the specs up at the time when looking this up, that they will hold the weight of these 40-gallon breeders, but it's just something that if you know you're gonna put a lot of weight on these stands, you're gonna want something that's reliable. Not that I'm saying that those ones aren't, but that's why I choose Dado Cut. Let me see if I can, the camera can only go so far, and if I lose, let me see if I can show you my future 220-gallon tank, guys. Let me answer some questions on chat here too while I'm at it. Slim Tim, let me mod you real quick. Let me go back to YouTube. All right, there you go, Slim. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let me catch up on chat here. Working, y'all, Brandon. That's fine, being in and out of chat, appreciate it. There's a great documentary about water from 2006. It's called Voda. It talks about water having memory. Huh. Since you're throwing out wrenches, send one. Oh, you're not a moderator, Jorge? What the heck? What am I doing here? I'm awful. God. There you go. Anyone else want to be a mod on here? I know that like you like have everyone as a mod, so that way it's easy to find people's channel, but there you go. You're good to go, my friend. P.S. There are two documentaries in that year that had the same name. The one you're looking for starts with the words water. Vada, it talks about water having memory. Sir Seda, when David, it's so chill. Jeffro, I'm not good with recalling names, just the impression I got. Mickey's says, similar to the racks I have, I was wary of them holding weight at the start, but they have been great. Slim's been modded, and so is Jorge. So anyone that wants to jump on the bandwagon can request a DSO, I guess. But anyways, if I can zoom in, I do have a bigger lens, or not a bigger lens, but it'll zoom in more. But this is my current, these are my peacock and halves. That's going to be going or not peacocks, I should say, because there's no halves in there yet. But that's my future 220-gallon tank, because I've raised these guys since they were in egg tumblers. So that's kind of like my prized possession right now for the future, is to have that 220 up and running and put these guys in there. And that's going to be my tank of my proud moment of saying, hey, I raised every one of these fish. I didn't pay for a single one of them. So, and then these are my dragon bloods up here. I have still plenty of those to get rid of. But yeah, onward to some maintenance. We're going to face this way. Hopefully I can get this camera at a decent spot. Let's see here. Thank you, Slim. Jorge's already out. Great, now I can ban Brandon. There you go. More power to you, right? you guys can see me. I'm gonna take these pre-sponge filters off of these tanks. I should have done them when I was doing the water changes, but let me put this hose away too, because I don't need it anymore. So that way it's out of my way. Let's see here, what's next? Oh yeah, pre-sponge filters, that's why I left these open. Yeah, I've had no problems with the, let's see here. My battery's about to die on my lavalier. So if I lose you guys on sound, let me know in the chat. Let me see if I can figure out a way to keep it charged on both ends. I thought I had a charger down here. If I don't, I might have to go grab one. Let's see here. I thought I had a charger down here. Yep, I do. Okay, so let me see if I can figure out how to keep this charged. So that way I don't lose you guys. Bad thing is the one that's on me, the one that's on me, I don't know how to keep that one charged due to the me walking around all the time. But we'll figure it out. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Wonder if I can keep this charging, at least on the camera. And if for some reason it doesn't work, looks like I still got half a battery on here. You guys can still hear me, right? Your thumb in that video is gnarly, my boy. Oh, thanks, Meeps. Yeah, me too. Ouch. Ouch, Slim. Let me get these pre-filters out and rinse them out. Hey, this guy's eating my arm hair. That doesn't feel very good. My arm hair is not for your consumption. That's not very nice. I'm your friend, I'm not your enemy. I'm not your food. Pre-sponge filter all the way. Might make the tank messy for a little bit, but it'll be all right. Pre-sponge filter for the win. Yeah, more flow. And for this one too, because this one's probably worse than the other one. Probably should have done this when I was doing the water change, because now it's all over the tank. That's all right. That big sponge filter should handle the remains. Wow, that one was really bad. Plenty of tank water in here though. Yeah, definitely should have done this while I was doing the water change. I did not think about that. Whoops. Must have been distracted by all the chat's good looks again, especially Branton's. If he's still in here working and lurking. I don't know though, Jorge's got some competition too. Especially when he's doing his plug lives. I'm probably muffling the crap out of you guys. All right, much gooder. Much gooder. Let me see here. Still good, AV, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Jaws. Yeah. Brandon's in and out. Oh, Brandon, I said, what did I say? Something about good looks. Then you not having it. It was actually the opposite, but I just turned that around just now. I said I meant to do the pre-sponge filters while I was doing the water change with these tanks, and I forgot to do it, and it would have been more feasible to do it that way, because now I got a bunch of debris and detritus floating around the tank. And I told everyone that I was distracted by the chat's good looks, and I said especially Branton's. But then I just turned it around and I said the opposite because you asked. That's terrible. Told you. All right. Anyhoot, I'm going to go to the FX2 and bring it out. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. Hang on, guys. I'm in the other room. Grabbing my FX2 from the Mbuna tank. Alrighty. I installed this FX2 in June. I haven't done any maintenance on it yet. And there's no pre-sponge filter on it. I'm terrible. I saw Jaws 3D in the cinema back in the day. That was a trip. No caps intended. Oh. Jaws 3D, I don't know. If your phone can pick up an FX Canister Filter, I will switch to Android. This is on a digital camera through because I use this for recording like my videos like Higer and ZbWKwL and stuff when I do product reviews in my own videos. But I use a capture card, that's what it's called. So let me see if I can get this camera to get a better view for you guys. Boom. How's that? Canister maintenance live with price tag. I can even try to center it for you. What do you think? Pick up as in lifting. Oh, if your phone, oh, yeah, if your phone can pick up an FX Canister Filter, I will switch to Android. I gotcha. Like, I took that a different way. All right, I actually have to I should need to go get something. You guys can still hear me. I'm just grabbing some silicone grease when I put this thing back together. But I use this. I got it on Amazon. It's non-toxic, food grade, HVS 100 Husky silicone grease. O-rings, valves, faucets, rubber plastics, stuff like that. So just FYI. But yeah, FX2. First time I've maintained this thing since I put it in the tank. A little small, so let me bring this forward a little bit. The water's already dirty just from the freaking pre-sponge filters. Let me set this aside. You guys probably won't be able to see this. But I'll bring the trash can up whenever I'm done opening this up. I can't believe how dirty those pre-sponge filters were. Don't worry about the water going on the ground. Holy smoke. This is too many months overdue. Okay. Anyways, there was some crud and stuff up here. Is the impeller in here? No, it's not. Okay. Anyways, I'll set this right here. Actually, where can I set this that's convenient? I guess I'll just set this up here. There's a bag of a bag of carbon. I call it charcoal because that's what we have at my gas plant. I'll have to replace this. I'll just put it in here, I guess for now. Replace it with, I think I have another bag somewhere. But, pay no attention to that. Here's kind of what it looks like. Don't worry guys, this is concrete floor and this all goes to a drain over there, so we'll be fine. So, let's just rinse this out a little bit. I just used the meter that they supplied with the FX6. I really didn't have a problem with using it. Here's this here. It's not too terribly bad. And just kind of rinse it out thoroughly. Looks a little bit better. See here, these actually really aren't too bad. They look pretty crazy when I started, but they actually don't look too bad. They look a little bit worse when you put them in the trash can. Now I'll just take this thing out. Let me grab the other 5-gallon bucket. Oh, it's right here, idiot. I'll just set this over here. Put this in here. And grab this other one. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad. Drain time. Yeah, it's a little bit more dirty than when I put it in the trash can. This, just kind of rinse this out. And now just kind of rinse the rings out. Eventually at some point, I do want to get something that's a little bit more porous than what these are, smaller pores, so it holds in the media a little bit better. But for now, I think this will work. Here's the rest of this. The bottom of this looks a little bit worse, but yeah. Let's see if I can get the camera to see the trash can as I rinse this one out. Probably shouldn't have the plug-in cord. Let's see if you guys can see this. There you go. Maintenance 101. Pretty gunky, huh? Holy smoke. Yep. That's pretty bad. It is new. And then we'll just kind of rinse this bucket out. These are fairly dirty as well. But not too bad afterwards, really. But yeah, you can kind of see that's between the pre-sponge filters and on the other tanks and the FX2, that's kind of how it looks. Yep, it's definitely doing its job. And then I'll just pour the rest of this water in here too. That way I can... A lot of crud on the bottom here. Ugh. A lot of crud. I'm actually going to rinse this part in the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Or actually, I'm going to go to the slop sink. So you guys want to put a stop sign up for me real quick, that'd be great. Quick stop sign. But yeah. All right, another thing I do after I put this all back in place, this will go in here. This set will go in here. Let's see, we'll put this back on. Grab my little clips here. Oop. There's that. We'll just go ahead and put the original media back in. And I think for the 55 gallon, I think this does pretty well. I should probably replace the carbon. Oop, I'm missing my other little piece here. Rinse this in here. There we go. Easy peasy. I could probably replace this carbon. So let me see. I'm going to throw a lot of this away. I should just be able to open this bag up, throw most of this away, and just replace it with some of my carbon. Slim, put another stop sign in for me too, and if someone comes in the chat, just let them know I'm replacing my carbon, because I'm just going to empty this bag out in the trash, and then I'm just going to get new carbon that's in the other room. So guys, just give me a second. All right. Thank you guys for waiting patiently. This is the carbon that I use. I don't know if the camera will focus at all. Oops, excuse me. But this is the kind that I use, that I replaced it with. It's been working good so far. I know that some people are kind of 50-50 on whether or not to use carbon or not. But that's what I'm replacing it with. Rinse it out, all good to go. All right, so the last thing I wanted to do I thought about cleaning the impeller too, but it's been giving like really good flow and I haven't had any noises or anything like that. But I did want to slightly grease the O-ring. So let me see here. See if I can get this out. Here's the O-ring that they supply you with it. Put that there. I don't put a whole lot of grease on this either. You know, just enough. Let me dry this out and then we'll put some grease on it. So I only put about, that much. It's not a lot. Yeah, it's not a lot at all. This thing will last like a lifetime. And I just distribute it evenly. Just like that. And that's it. If anyone who doesn't know, if water goes through the bottom in your inlet here, goes to the bottom, goes through the sides first. It'll go through the bottom. Let me see here if I didn't screw this up. I want to make sure the carbon is the one that hits last. I might have messed this up. It goes up through the sides and down the middle, so I believe I got to put this on the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Because then the return goes, like the last thing that hits should be on the bottom, so I did mess this up. We want to have this fine part on the bottom. Because what it does is the water goes to the bottom, goes up through the sides, and then goes back through the bottom, and then the return goes from the bottom and goes back out the top. So let me switch this around real quick. Sorry guys. If I'm not mistaken. So this needs to actually go on the bottom here. All right, anything in chat need to catch up with? Yeah, it's easy to do. I didn't do that this time. Guess who's rub my back, rub my back. Let's see, what did I miss here? Thanks, Meeps. Yeah, it's easy to do, Brenton. Yeah, you definitely want, it'll go through here and then it'll go through the bottom, so yeah, we're good. Let me, this needs to go above that too. No, it does not. See, Brandon, now you got me all fuzzled. All right. Let's see here. Make sure that this is all even. This one is not coming in all the way for some reason. There we go. It's a lot lighter when there's no water in it, right? Of course, just like a tire, make sure all the sides are even and everything. And then I will top my tank off with water too after I'm done. You don't want to over tighten these things too, and just kind of nudge them up, because I have heard that these things can break whenever you over tighten them. But that's it. I'll pan you guys back up. And that's it. Seems like it'll be a success. The only thing I have to do now is drain this. I guess I could probably do that now, really, because there's no point in me keeping this water now. Dirty water. So I'm gonna go reconnect this back in. Let's see how many people are watching here. Not a whole lot, but it's all right. It's a weird time. And then I'll dry this off a little bit too while I'm at it. Get my towel, just the outside of it. And then I'll give you guys the good news. If it works or not. Oh shit. Alrighty, water's in. Tubes were a little bit dark. There's a ton of debris that's floating around right now. Or I'm sorry, not the tubes. Did I say the tubes are a little bit dark? There was a lot of debris in the tubes, so it just shot a bunch out of the tubes. But that'll clear up. It'll go in the filter and be fine. It's doing its purge process now, so. I don't see any leaks. That's a plus. It'll go through its purge process. I'm not going to show you guys the tank. Cool sound. Yeah, I'm all sorts of sound effects and everything. I wish I could show you, but I can't bring the camera all the way in here, guys. You have no idea what I'm doing out here. All these sounds are completely aquarium related and nothing more and nothing less. All the sounds that you're hearing have everything to do with the aquarium. I promise you. Yeah, dirty, 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 dirty water. Sure, Joe. Uh-huh. We believe you. All right, I gotta add some water conditioner to the 55. The tank looks like a mess right now, but it'll clear up. Let me grab my water conditioner. And then fill this tank up. Top it off, I should say. All sorts of noises going on in the fish room today, huh? I really don't like how the plastic tubing retains a lot of the mess that's in the tubing, but I really didn't want to clean the tubes today. Muddy mess. Oh my gosh! How does your tank look that bad? It's actually pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna top off my other tank too while I'm at it. It's not gonna be a whole lot, but might as well. My Central and South American tank. Oh man. Fish sounds from Price Tag Aquariums. You have no idea what's going on in the background. That's fish tank water and nothing else. Get your minds out of the gutter. How about this sound? You guys hear that? Sounds of the aquariums from Price Tag himself. Alrighty. I'm glad I could entertain you guys for the day on your lunch hour. Welcome to the lunch hour. I'm kind of amazed if you guys can still hear me. Just like this. Does it make you want to pee? I'm on the slop sink in the other room. It's not my fault, I swear. These fish are like, holy smokes. Jorge. Price Tag ASMR. Last time I heard that sound was from the friendly girl at the base. I'm not even gonna try to reenact that. Holy cow, guys. This was messy. Might have to even rinse this thing out. I'll lift this trash can up and show you here in a minute. There's a lot of detritus and fish waste in here. Oh my goodness. You guys. What Jorge, you said base. Here's the bottom of this trash can. It's just filthy. That's what she said. Oh my God, look inside. It's so filthy. All right, we're better now. Much gooder. Lunch is in 5 minutes. All righty. Good news is no leaks from the FX2. Filter change was a success, or maintenance, I should say. Other than the fact that I just can't do anything about the hose line, the black hose that comes with the FX series. There's just a lot of junk that just sits in there. It just gets pushed out into the outlet. But shockingly enough, it was June. I marked it on here. It was, I have this fish app that's no longer available to download. And I keep using it. Let's see, June 2nd of last year, obviously. But yeah, June 2nd is when I installed that filter, and I have not serviced it yet. So I'll mark it now. FX2 filter maintenance. Added new carbon and greased O-rings. Greased, since I can spell grease. O-ring. I did not do the impeller. It's been running fine. I'll do that next time. So did not service impeller. I probably could have, but I haven't heard any abnormal noise or anything like that. So let's see what chat's saying. Oh yeah, hey, what's up, Jim? Yes, it was. If anyone who doesn't know, me and Jim had lunch the other day. It was on Sunday. We went to his favorite restaurant, at least one of his favorites, and it was actually pretty good. I haven't had Chipotle in a long time, but it was good. We hung out for a couple hours and talked amongst ourselves and got to know each other a little bit more, and that's always a plus. So it was nice to see you, Jim. It was nice to be able to do that. We'll have to do it more often. We're going to be going, hopefully we'll plan a day to go fishing at some point too. And maybe we should do a YouTube live on that, you know, if we do well. But yeah. Since you're both here, we are derailing Joe's live stream. Hey, you guys can derail away. I mean, so I don't know who's seen the Aquatic News Network. I've seen like bits and pieces. I haven't seen like everything yet, but apparently Jesse shows up without pants on. I mean, if that's not derailing, I don't know what is. I'm not gonna do that, you know. I'm just kidding. Next tank maintenance water change, price tag without pants on. Just kidding, guys. I don't know, Jesse's got some pretty hard competition to work with. It's pretty good too, though. I like the little tickers on the bottom on the Aquatic News Network, like these little puns here and there. It always gets a kick. Oh man, you guys are funny. Love Chipotle. Everybody loves Chipotle. If you don't like Chipotle, then you're lying. Brandon, I appreciate it. I'm glad that someone would support me in a different manner. Oh my goodness, this bottom of this tank, or this, the bottom of this garbage can was pretty gross. It's literally all brown water. I should put this in my toilet and not flush it. So then when my wife gets home with my daughter from her dance class and be like, man, it was a rough day. I tried to do water changes and I could not flush the toilet. It's clogged. Put all this brown water in the toilet. Tell her how much of a bad day I had. I think that she would believe me too, I feel. Because we have our fair share of epic poops. When you gotta go, right? It's just in human nature. Yeah, very random live stream today. But like Jorge said, random is better. Maybe not get as many people to join, but this was kind of like an on-the-fly thing. I'm using OBS Studio, so the quality is a lot better, but I just can't bring up the chat relay. Let's see what you guys said. Maybe we should all do the Jesse movement going pantless in our videos. Hey, if it gets us more views, Slim, then we might have to all go that direction. Jorge says Joe must be a fight. He works weird hours and keeps meticulous records. I am not a firefighter. I work at a natural gas processing facility. New tidy whiteys. Off the lunch. All right, Swivel. Yeah, I work a lot of weird hours. Let me, I'm gonna go turn that water on in the sink. I'll be right back. We don't have to do a stop sign or nothing. I'm just gonna rinse the shower. Yeah, because there was a lot of brown water in there. I don't really like to leave that in the shower because it looks like crap, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely needed though, between the pre-sponge filters and the FX2. Hopefully soon I'll put the FX2 with a pre-sponge filter. Rinse this shower off. More sounds from the Price Tag Aquarium. You guys can think whatever this is. Man, it's so dirty. Gotta get it all. Stop it, guys. I'm cleaning my shower. Aquarium noises. That's all it is. All right. I can't believe this mic has lasted this long. I'm so shocked. I'm happy about it too. Let's see what things you guys had said. Luncheon and lurking. Diarrhea, diarrhea. Joe is taking matters into his own hands. That's right, Jim. We have gone down the rabbit hole. We have gone down that road. Alrighty. One last final check on my FX2. And I don't see any leaks. Everything is running. I got good flow, a lot better flow than what it was. So this should clear up nicely. All checks are good. The only thing I have left to do is I'll probably skip the feedings on these tanks and these tanks for a day. I'm probably going to feed just my smaller fish in my 10s. I could probably do that now, really. I wonder, Jim, if you're still in here, I wonder if I could be able to zoom in and see your sevrums here. It's about as far in as I can get the camera to go. But your sevrums are sitting in this tank. It's probably going to be hard to see. Yep, you can see them kind of moving around in there. They're doing good. All 10 of them are still surviving. So let me tornado. All right, so I will go around and do my smaller tanks so you guys can kind of watch while I'm doing that. Sweet. What else you guys say? There's my babies. That's called dumpster gravy, Tim. Tim's going to be the next Toxic Avenger. All right, I'm going to feed the smaller guys for today. So everybody in the 10s. You'd be surprised when you have this many tanks. Sometimes you tend to forget a tank. And you're like, did I feed that tank? This guy, I've been giving him Vitachem. He is not eating like the regular flake food or anything. This guy has. But he also has Popeye, and I've been treating him with Canaplex. Because in my experience, Melafix has done jack squat for me. So I've been using Canaplex and might switch to Metroplex if need be. See, I almost did it. Almost fed that tank twice. All right. These guys are small over here too. I don't know if you guys can see me on camera or not. This bottom tank is. Everybody else I'm not gonna bother. They're doing pretty good. I use this for a majority of my fish down here. And then I have the bigger flakes along with North Fin upstairs for my bigger fish. But then I have these containers that they're pretty tightly sealed, but I put like veggie on it, North Fin, 2mm, got the labels all around it and everything, so I don't forget. And this is like a mixture of North Fin Crow Pro. I put these little boogers on there for that. It's a mixture between cichlid pellets, crow pellets. I got the North Fin label, and then it also has a little bit of this in with it. Just these pellets here. These are 1.5mm, so it's a mixture, but mostly North Fin. But I really like the flake food with this, and my fish they go crazy for this stuff too. Oh, I need to put Vitachem in here for my firemouth that is not getting any worse, but he's not bouncing back. Same with my Popeye that my one cichlid has. Metro is my saying. Why is that, Branton? Huh, Jim, you must have better luck than me for Malefics. What's good med for treating new fish that may have internal parasites? I'll show you what I have. Jesse has he has his way of dealing with it. I use aquarium salt mixed with I have this stuff here. It's a powder. It's called Metroplex, and these are supposed to be for like internal parasites and bacterial diseases. And then this Focus, you kind of put it in with their food, and it's a powder form, but this Focus helps bind this onto the food and keep it together. And then you just kind of mix it in with your food in a small cup is what I've done before when you first start feeding them. And then I have this Vitachem for like the first few days or so. I'll use it, or if I'm medicating. And then this other stuff is for like the external parasites. It's just called, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, it's not focusing. I'm trying to get it to focus. But it's called Canaplex, Kanaplex. And they're all from Seachem, is what I use. Plus aquarium salt. Ooh. That's a saying, if you don't know, Metro. Okay. Yeah, it does treat internal parasites. If you don't know what to treat with Metro, will more than likely work. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I like Metro. I've had pretty good luck with that. I've had better luck with Metro than Malefics. But anyways, there's not a whole lot left I need to do. I pretty much got done what I wanted to get done. So yeah, we've been on here for, let's see, how long have we been on here for? 2 hours? That's good enough. Yeah, salt works for me too. But anyways, everyone who's came in here, everyone has hung out with me for this live stream. It was a fun thing to do. I haven't done, last time I did this, it was an absolute disaster because I was trying to figure out my internet. But now that my internet's figured out and I'm wired directly through my ISP, the internet has just been phenomenal. And it's been working great ever since. I might go back to StreamYard, but I may not, depending on what my buddy and I are figuring out. But I like using OBS. I might continue to do that. The quality of it's great. It's free to use. The only downfall, like I said before, is I can't bring like like the chat relay on the bottom like you can with Restream or StreamYard. And you got like those intros and stuff. And I think I'm only streaming to just YouTube only right now. Before I was able to choose where I was streaming at. And I could pick, you know, like 3 different locations. So at the same time when I scheduled it, I could go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and I don't know if I don't think I could choose Instagram. I'm not sure. I'm terrible with Instagram. But yeah. I'm just gonna head out, you guys. Thanks again for hanging out. Branton, Jorge, Slim Tim, Swiffle. Anybody else that I haven't mentioned? Let's see, who else? Swiffle, Jim, thanks for coming in. Like I said, it was great to meet you once again. We gotta do it again. We got Jeff Rose in here, Mickey's, Meeps, Slim Tim. The Aquatic News Network came in for a little bit. I know Jody P stopped in for a little bit. And L's Fish came in for a little bit as well. So, yep. You guys have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend. And hopefully I will see you again soon. So, take care. Hopefully this was fun for you to watch. And maybe you guys learned something. So, take it easy. Yep, sounds good, Jim. What am I supposed I don't know. Figure it out. Thanks, Wiffle, though, for your support. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys later.